Hi guys! Today I'm going to read you a story. I wrote this for class. The assignment was to write a one-page, style of your choice, true epiphanic moment from your life. When I was 9, my grandfather went into the hospital, and for 8 months every weekend my father would drive me an hour and a half across our state to visit. For a 9-year-old jumping bean kid like me, an hour and a half was a long, long drive, but I went, not because my father forced me to, but because I had a very strong sense of right and wrong then. Often I think that I had my head more squarely set on my shoulders then than I do now, that I've been growing down instead of up, but that's an epiphany for another time. My grandfather did die, though, eventually. I do remember the call. It was December, and I had just gotten into bed, and the phone rang. I said to myself, well, Grandpa's dead, and I don't know how I knew, but by the next morning, when my mother told me that he'd passed, I disturbed her a bit by not being surprised at all. At the funeral, I think I was the youngest person present, aside from my sister, who was 8, poor thing. I sat with my grandmother the whole time. Afterwards, my mother said that I looked like a lamb nestled up next to her, and for some reason, I couldn't cry. But oh, did my grandmother cry. She cried and squeezed my hand so hard that she left white marks. When it came time for her to stand up and pay her respects, she leaned on me for the walk up and asked me if I thought it would be okay for her to kiss him goodbye, if I thought that was wrong, if I thought that people would think she was strange for it, and I immediately said no, that it wasn't wrong, and that if people thought that she was strange, they could go fly a kite. It was the first time in my life that I realized that growing up doesn't mean you suddenly know everything, that you've got everything figured out. People are delicate at all ages.